Erev Shabbat Shalom Rabotai. We are continuing with our Mishna Yomi Masechet Sukkah. We are up to Perek Gimel Mishnah Zayin. Today's Mishnayot should be Leilu Nishmat Neria ben Svetlana Aranbayev and Eliyahu ben Burchai Israelov Menuchatam Began Eden Amen and Lavdi ben Chaim Lachaim for the Refuah Shelema of Bacha Bat Esther B'toch Shah Chorei Israel. This Mishnah cites two disputes about the size of an etrog. The Mishnah begins Shiur etrog katan, the minimum size of an etrog. Rabbi Meir Omer ke'egoz. Rabbi Meir says that an etrog must be as large as a walnut. Rabbi Yehuda Omer kabetza. Rabbi Yehuda says that it must be as large as an egg. Now, because an etrog smaller than an egg is not fully developed, that's why Rabbi Yehuda holds that it must be as large as an egg. The Rav does tell us, Rabbi Yehuda de pachot mikabetza pasul. The halacha follows the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda that a etrog that is smaller than an egg is invalid. The Mishnah continues, Ubagadol, the maximum size of an etrog, kedeh sheyochal shenayim biyado achat. It must be small enough that a person can hold two of them in one hand. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda, these are the words of Rabbi Yehuda. Now this size is based on the law that one should hold the lulav bundle, the lulav bound together with the hadassim and aravot in his right hand and the etrog in his left. Since the right hand is more important than the left, it should hold the bundle of 3 mitzvot, while the left hand holds just 1 mitzvah. Now the rabbis were concerned that when a person is handed the 4 species, he might receive the lulav in his left hand and the etrog in his right, requiring him to switch them from one hand to the other. In the process of switching, he would have to hold both in one hand for a moment. If the etrog is too large, he might drop and damage it, making it invalid. The rabbis therefore required the etrog to be small enough that one can safely hold the lulav bundle and the etrog in a single hand. Rabbi Yossi Omer, but Rabbi Yossi says, Afilu echad b'shtei yadav, even if it is so large that a person would need both of his hands to hold one, it is valid. The Ran explains Rabbi Yossi places no limit on how large the etrog may be, and the Rav does tell us v'lachak Rabbi Yossi, the halacha follows the opinion of Rabbi Yossi. And that is the end of Mishnah Zayin. Mishnah Chet discusses tying the lulav, hadassim, and aravot together. The Mishnah begins, "En ogdin et lulav ela bimino." We may not bind the lulav, hadassim, and aravot together except with parts of their own species, such as their stems, branches, and leaves. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. These are the words of Rabbi Yehuda. According to Rabbi Yehuda, binding is part of the mitzvah of the 4 species, and so parts of these very species must be used. Now, Rabbi Yehuda derives from the Torah that binding the lulav, hadassim, and aravot together is an essential part of the mitzvah. Therefore, using something from a different species is considered adding a 5th species to the mitzvah, which violates the biblical prohibition of adding to a mitzvah what we call bal tosif. Rabbi Meir Omer, but Rabbi Meir says, afilu vimshicha, we may bind them together even with a string of linen or the like. Rabbi Meir holds that binding is done merely to make the species look more appealing. Therefore, any material is fit for this purpose. This is how Rashi explains the opinion of Rabbi Meir on page 36b, Masechet Sukkah. Now, since the binding is only for decoration, according to Rabbi Meir, the material used is not halachically relevant to the mitzvah of the species. Again, this is how Rashi explains the opinion of Rabbi Meir in Masechet Sukkah. Now, Rabbi Meir cites support for his ruling. Amar Rabbi Meir said, Maaseh be'anshei Yerushalayim, it happened with the men of Yerushalayim, she'iu ogdin et ulvehen begimoniot shel zahav, that they would bind the lulav, hadassim, and aravot together with bands of gold. This shows that any type of material is acceptable. Now, the Mishnah brings Rabbi Meir's proof is rejected. Amrulo, the rabbi said to him, Bimino ayu ogdin oto milmata. In fact, they bound it, the lulav, together with hadassim and aravot, with parts of their own species underneath the bands of gold, meaning they fulfilled the mitzvah of binding with parts of the 4 species and then put bands of gold on top for decoration. Since the gold was not used to actually bind the species, even Rabbi Yehuda would agree that its use was not considered adding to the mitzvah. And the Rav does tell us, Va'anan kaimalan, we hold the lulav ensich agad the lulav does not need to be bound. Hilkach ba'alachat ke'Rabbi Meir. Therefore, in this halacha follows the opinion of Rabbi Meir. And that is in Rabotai of today's Mishna Yomi. Everybody Shavei Erev Shabbat Shalom. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.